Welcome back to the vlog. Today I'm doing a $300 buy-in at the 1-3 game, and it's a very special day because it's raffle day. Names are going to be drawn out of this, and the winners get $1,000. Chances are slim. There's a lot of tickets in there. Let's get to the action. I pick up pocket threes in the cutoff. I've lost $36, so I've got $264 in my stack. Haven't topped off just yet. The middle position makes it 15. I make the call. I have no problem seeing a flop with the threes. Hoping to hit a set. The big blind makes the call as well. We're going three ways to the flop, 46 in the pot. And the dealer puts out 6, 7, 6. Not a bad flop for me. I'm assuming the original bettor doesn't have a 6 or a 7. He checks to me. I'm going to take the initiative, and I'm going to put out a $20 bet. Unfortunately, the big blind is having none of it. And 6, 1, 06 in the pot. Although the original bettor may not have a 6 or a 7, I wouldn't be surprised if the big blind did. I toss it away. Still not topping off quite yet. And I pick up King Jack of Hearts on the button. The hijack opens to 10. I'm going to 3-bet, make it 30. The hijack is the only one that makes the call. We're going heads up to the flop, and it's 9, ace, 5. The ace on the board is scary, but it's probably scary for both players. I'm going to continuation bet $15. The hijack makes the call. The turn is a 7 of hearts. If she's willing to call on an ace-high board, she probably has an ace, maybe has a 9 or a 5, but I don't want to tempt fate. I just want to head to the river. I did pick up a heart draw. I'm going to see my equity. I check, and the river's a 6 of diamonds, a complete blank. I'm sitting with king high. This time the hijack bets into me $35. He's probably trying to milk me a little bit more with that ace. So I fold down to 184, top back up to 300, in for 416 now. And I pick up queen 10 offsuit. In the big blind, there's a straddle on the pot. The middle position player limps. So does the hijack. The cutoff comes along as well. I'm just going to complete for the $3. 5 players going to the flop. $31 in the pot. And the dealer puts out 5-3 queen. I hit my top pair. My kicker is A-okay. Could be better. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to donk bet into this limped pot. I make it 15. The hijack calls. The cutoff wants to come along. The button throws in 3 reds. And we're going 4 ways to 91 in the pot. And it's the 10 of clubs. Boom, baby. Top 2 pair. Okay. Now my queen 10 is starting to look a little better than it did on the flop. And I'm going to continue juicing up this pot. Half-size pot bet to 50. There's only one player that still has a hand strong enough to come along. He doesn't put in a raise, so I'm assuming that I have the best hand. It's the hijack. He makes the call. The river's a 3 of diamonds. I actually like this card now. If the hijack has a queen, he's more likely to stay in the pot, especially if his kicker is below a 10. I might also be able to get a call with a 5s. So I go big, 125, and the hijack doesn't waste any time at all making the call. He flips over his hand, king, queen offsuit. I got him on the turn, and I'm scooping a pot 545 in my stack. And I pick up pocket 8s under the gun. I open the action to 10. Limping from early position with my style of play means that I probably have a weak small pair. Plus betting gives me the opportunity to take down the pot, take the blinds. Sure, it may not be likely, but there's always a chance. The cutoff is the only player that wants to come along. 24 in the pot, mono y mono. The flop comes out 7, 9, 8. I love to see the 8, but the board is wetter than last week's Formula 1 race. So I'm going to go with a larger bet. You always want to bet larger when there's a lot of draws on the board, smaller when there aren't. People with draws are more willing to call a large bet, and you want to deny them equity. I make it 25. The cutoff comes along, 74 in the pot, and the turn is a 6 of clubs. Now there's 4 cards to a straight on the board. I'm not going to let off the pressure, though. My opponent has less than 100 behind. I make it 60. He shoves all in for 79. I make the call, 232 in the pot. We're going to the river, and it's a 10 of diamonds. Oh, my goodness. Like sand falling between my fingers. This hand has disappeared right before my eyes. My opponent flips up queen 10, the river. Save me. I guess he sucked out on me, then I sucked out on him. We're chopping the pot up. But now it's time for a drawing.
Well, I cannot believe it, but they drew my name out of the bucket. There was like 10,000 tickets in there, and it was my lucky day. And so I just snagged $1,000.
2 of my friends and I had 10% of each other for the drawing. I give $200 away, pocket $800. And now, winner tilt is activated. I went up a little bit to 602, and I pick up queen 9 of clubs in the low jack. I open the action to 12. The hijack makes the call, and then the big blind 3 bets to 45. Now, typically a 3-bet out of the blinds is very scary and it indicates a lot of strength. A lot of players don't do it at the 1-3 game, but this guy's got a lot of chips at the table, and he's a competent player that I know is able to 3-bet and would most likely 3-bet rather than limp out of the big blind. So I'm going to go for a leveling play. I'm going to make a power move. Actually, I'm just going to chalk this one up to, like I said, winner's tilt. And I make it 150 on top. I guess his 3-bet was a squeeze because he makes a fold, 660 in my stack. And the next hand I pick up his queen 8 of spades in middle position. There's a straddle on the pot. Once again, I open the action to 12. As you can see, my play has instantly loosened up since I pocketed the 800 bucks. Definitely not something that you want to do, but free money, especially a big number like that, I just can't help but be excited. The cutoff, my buddy Froggy makes it 60. Froggy has been taking a beating all night. He's been playing well, but you know how poker goes. He has just been getting sucked out on left and right. I decide to call. Am I making a sympathy call? Absolutely not. I play everyone equally, and I want to deliver that final blow. He is a smart, thoughtful player, so typically I'd fold. But like Thor in Oakenshield, blinded by his newly acquired gold, feeling invincible even against orcs, elves, wolves, and bats, I wanted it all for myself. I wanted to aim for the head like Thor and deliver the final blow with Stormbreaker. Okay, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Queen 8 suited should be tossed into the muck. But here I am on the flop, and it comes out 6-9 queen, top pair. Almost had 2 pair. Checked my opponent, and he just decides to jam 120 into the middle of the pot. Once again, red flag should be going off, but all I can feel is the weight of those black chips in my pocket. I've walked myself into this mess where I have top pair, terrible kicker, and I say no big deal, put 120 in, 370 in the pot, and we're going to a run out. The turn is the 9 of clubs, the river, the ace of hearts. I figure the ace sunk me. Froggy looks at me and says, the ace sunk me, and he flips over pocket kings. He's scooping this pot. I'll get you next time, Froggy. I lit about $200 on fire with that one, down to 460. The next hand I pick up is 8-7 offsuit in the big blind. The low jack is made at 15. The cutoff calls. So does the button. The small blind defends. I'm going to complete. I'm closing the action. I have a connected hand, and if I hit, I can make big money. The flop comes out king 6-9. Not a bad flop. I got an open ender. I decided to check it. It checks it around. We're going to the turn. It's the 7. Now I have a pair and an open ender. No one showed aggression on the flop. I need to show aggression on the turn. I bet 25. The cutoff makes the call. So does a small blind. 150 in the pot, and the river is the 9 of hearts. Pairs the board. I'm just going to give up and I check. Apparently everyone else gave up as well. It's time for showdown, and I flip up my hand, and my hand is going to be good. I'm scooping at 570 in my stack, and I pick up pocket 7s in the big blind. The hijack opens at 15. Once again, I'm closing the action. Just going to call and set mine, and my Minesweeper must be working overtime because 7 king ace comes on the flop. Bottom set. It's the best set to have. It's extremely hidden, and unlike having pocket aces where your set is the top pair on the board, now I'm begging that he has an ace. I could probably even milk him with a king. And the hijack bet's going to be $30. There's only about $84 in the stack. I could shove them all in right now, but I have no problem letting him do the betting. If he hits his diamond on me, so be it. I'm not going to lose much. I make the call. The turn is the 4 of clubs. I check it back to the hijack, and that turn is all I needed to see to shove the rest of his 54 in the middle of the pot. I make the quick call, and the river is the 9 of clubs. I flip over my hand, and it is good. My stack drops down to 647, and with my newly acquired gold, I pull my name on the 2-5 list. They call it, and I am headed over to the table. I buy in for 1,000, using 357 of my bonus money in for 773 now, and I pick up king queen of diamonds pretty quickly. Put out a small bet. Everyone folds. I'm scooping the first one. The Run Good series is coming back to Omo Casino. $100,000 guaranteed main event. The opening night, there's a bounty ring event, and I happen to be a bounty. So come try to knock me out. Come play the series. Come play some cash games with me and make the vlog. Let's get back to the action. 1,007 in my stack, and I pick up ace deuce of clubs in middle position. I'm really starting to love these wheel suited aces. You're drawn to the nut flush. You're drawn to a really hidden wheel. The only thing you have to be cautious about is if you do hit your ace, it's easy to lose a lot of money. The other gun player limps. I make it 20. The middle position player to my left makes it 20, and then the low jack puts in a 3-bet to 90. Now that I'm sitting at a 2-5 table, I can probably justify a call here, but I am trying to get settled in. I'm going to be playing this hand out of position, so I just toss it away and wait for another day. The next hand I get is ace-king offsuit in the small blind. The undergun player opens for 20. The middle position player calls. This time I'm going to throw in the 3-bet. I make it 80. Probably should have gone a little bit larger with my offsuit ace-king from the worst position at the table. I pique one player's interest. The undergun player makes the call. 187 in the pot. We're going heads up to the flop, and it's 2-9-10. Ace-king is a hard hand to play. What the heck do you do out of position as a 3-bet aggressor with air? Well, I'm going to continue betting. I make it 125. The small blind is okay with that price. 437 in the pot, and the turn is the queen of spades. Now I've picked up a gush shot. Not likely to hit, but it does give me a few more outs, and I'm going to continue applying the pressure. My opponent has a 10. The queen may scare him. I bet 250. Unfortunately, my opponent is not scared of anything. He must have been licking his lips this entire time because he shoves all in on me. A gross overbet of 1175. I have no choice but to make the fold down to 543. And I top back off, taking the rest of the blacks out of my pocket, throwing them on the table, in for 1230 now. If you're liking this video, please like the video. It really goes a long way to helping me, helps expose my videos to new viewers. Let's get back to the action. And I'm glad I topped off because I pick up pocket aces. This is the lesson that you guys taught me in the comments. Always top off. It's scary at first, but once you start to do it, it makes a lot of sense. I think it's great advice. It allows me, when I pick up a monster like pocket aces, to make a lot more money than I could have if I would have stayed at 543. The under the gun player opens to 20. I 3-bet to 70. And the under the gun player makes the call, 147 in the pot. And it's 836. I've erred on the side of aggression all day. I tend to err on the side of aggression, and I suggest you do too. I wasn't aggressive enough when I first started the vlog. Now I'm starting to hit my stride. I make it 100. The under the gun player is okay with that price. He makes the call, 347 in the pot, and the turn is the 9 of clubs. A few straights get there. 8-9 is a likely 2-pair candidate. He could also have hit 2 pairs with his giggities. But I'm going to continue betting for value. I make it 200. And the under gun player throws an 8 greens to match. We are now playing for the most beautiful commercial airliner on the planet, 747 in the pot. The river comes out, the 7 of hearts, and oh my gosh, if any card is going to crack pocket aces, it's going to be that one. Flushes get there, 4 cards to the straight. Luckily, I have position. The undergun player checks to me. I'm not going to go for any more streets of value. I check back, and my hand is good. Scooping a big one. 1337 in my stack. I can tell that this is a solid table. No one's really budging. Everyone's playing pretty tight. I have all my money on the table, including the big bonus that I won. And I realized, you know what? Let's just call it a day. It's always good not to get greedy at the table. So I rack up my chips and go to head out. But then I'm dealt ace, king, offsuit in the small blind. And the first thing I think is I'm about to lose all my money. Playing out of the rack is extremely dangerous for whatever reasons. I think it's because you know you have one hand left. You get a little anxious to kind of squeeze out that last bit of profit. And it can often lead to your demise. When the middle position makes it 25, I'm just going to call. I'm on my way out. My ace-king isn't suited, and I'm in the ultimate worst position for the entire hand. The big blind completes as well. 3 players in the pot, $77 up for grabs. And the flop comes out ace-9-3. The reason that you almost 100% check to the original better is because the hands that you bet out with are going to be so strong. People are rarely donk bluffing on the flop. But I want to take this pot down. I want to get out the door. And I don't want to get sucked out on by the river. So I donk bet out 50. The big blind gets out of the way. The middle position makes the call, and the turn is the 6 of spades. Once again, I'm trying to book a win, not get sucked out by the river. I need to put my money in when I think I have the best hand. I make it 125. If I needed any more confirmation that leaving the table was correct, my opponent goes to muck, but before he does, he flips over ace-jack suited. What a great laydown. I asked him as I was leaving the table how he was able to make that fold, and he told me it was because I let out on the flop, and it's just such a power move. He thought my hand was even better than ace-king. And I cast out for $1,400, but if you take away the $1,000 that I made, I'm in for $416, out for $400 for a small loss of $16. It was an exciting session. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Kato out.